Today's Fake News Friday is, for once, not about sticking something where it doesn't belong. This one is about putting someone where they do belong, but then taking them out. It's, one of those stories. A 117-year-old man from Texas was liberated from prison this morning after outliving his 99-year sentence. He was the first person ever in U.S. history to actually outlive their sentence. This guy is now 117 years old, and he's just now getting out of jail. What happened back in 1919, him, his father, and 7 other people who were accomplices were accused of stealing over 7,000 horses and mules, and including a lot of 1,735 horses that were destined to the American military effort in the First World War. Apparently that's a bad thing to go and steal that many horses, especially if a lot of them are for the military. They frown on that sort of thing. Well, the other 8 people that were with him, his dad and the 7 other accomplices, a year later, they were hung. This guy was not, because at the time he was deemed not of age. So they sent him to jail for 99 years in prison. Unexpectedly, the Amarillo native actually survived his sentence, which was spent in a total of 11 different detention centers. He was liberated this morning from the Central Unit Prison in Sugar Land after spending almost an entire century behind bars. Visibly emotional, Mr. Bourne expressed his worries about adapting to life in the 21st century. This is where it gets just crazy. Imagine being locked up for 99 years. So much has changed. Even in the past decade, things have changed. So imagine a century later. He says, I saw a few cars once as a kid when I went to Dallas. Saw a few cars. I've been watching TV and I know they're now everywhere, but I'll have to get used to it. It's crazy. He says despite his long incarceration, the 117-year-old man also fears he could have difficulty adapting to life without crime. Can you imagine a little 117-year-old man walking around with his walker, stealing horses? I don't. He says, all I've ever been outside of prison is a horse thief. That's the only thing I was good at. I bet I'd still be better than most of today's horse thieves, even at my age. Considering the horse thievery isn't necessarily that big of a deal, yeah, you're probably one of the best. But after 99 years of being a little rusty, I don't know. Despite his fears, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice considers there's very low risk that he'll actually return to stealing horses. And I would agree to that. In fact, the number of horse theft has constantly dropped over the last century, and the use of identification microchips over the past few years has made such crimes much easier to solve. Punishment for horse theft can still be severe, as one woman in Arkansas was sentenced to 60 years for stealing 5 horses back in 2011. So to all you horse thieves out there, or wannabe horse thieves, just know the fine is pretty high, the penalty. And you might want to start when you're 15 or 17 or not any older, because the likelihood of you outliving your crime in jail is probably slim. Or better yet, just going out crazy here, crazy talk, don't steal horses. Or better yet, don't steal anything. Stealing's bad. You don't really need me to tell you that, because it's kind of common knowledge. And if you lack the common sense and you do wind up stealing something, well then, you deserve the time. And with that, thanks for taking the time to watch this mug. Even if this story sounds real, it's not. It's fake. Today, being Friday, is Fake News Friday. That's where yours truly, newscaster, goes and tells you truly a fake story, in hopes of you telling one friend, and they tell one friend, and they tell one friend, who actually has 5 friends, and they tell 5 friends, and the story goes on and on. This is fake news. It's really not real. No, really, it's not. So, there you have it. There's your Fake News Friday. Give me a thumb up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share, because sharing's caring. We'll see you later. Bye.